Hello, welcome my to channel reading book section 4, the psychological of speaking English book. I still can't speak English. I wonder if students actually realize that a large part of the problem they experience with improving their speaking and listening skill is psychological and not linguistic. I have met many learners of English over the years who desperately want to improve their speaking and listening skill, but through some deep life planted earlier in their life, they've seen that what they need is more grammar and correction. This is because of the way educational system and English language teaching and learning ALT the world over has stuck by the system of the teaching the test and user completely ignoring the psychology of language learning or failing to integrate psychologically supportive technique into ALT curriculum. It is an enormous unexplained problem that places like China and India are trying to slow at the most moment. Both educators and students regularly recommended more of the same in terms of tissue events, so it's not helping to address the speaking issue that clearly excited its role would suggest the concept of what does and does not make a proper educational program is decided by people who prefer others to follow the path that they themselves follow it. This clearly explains why change is so also and why a warning value is so hard to earn for something that is quite different of how many students in China learn English in a school or university if they genuinely felt that the classes were giving them what they needed. The phenomenon of modern English, millions of learners can read but not speak English. An English Korean formal speaking parade in park and public space would not exist, and the huge rush to online language exchange and real practice website would not be grown fast. The learners through the internet are trying to find their own way to improve the skill that they can get in formal classes, but now they need. How many teachers recommend online speaker and lesson practice to their students, or the use of structure and conversation topic for read practice with the fluent or native speaker, and if they do recommend it, how should it be done to be effective? Average learning retention rate: lecture 5%, reading 10%, audiovisual 20%, demonstration 30%, discussion group 50%, practice by doing 75%, teaching other 90%. Source nation trial elaboration. Number 5. What stop your speaking? This came as a shock to me some time ago, but when I saw about it, I realized that it is just like an actors forgetting her line on a stage or a footballer missing a visual plenty. High, medium, low. The human brain can operate well without experiencing a high level of anxiety, even stress. In fact, a little stress is good for performance. Rugby commentator say that someone is up for it and really meant that player is at the optimal level of nervous stimulation of perform at their very best. But it is a declared past that we all flow and the learner start to pump. That feeling of the nervous anxiety and excitement running through our body is often different between doing something well and not doing it properly at all. However, under simulation is not the only way you and I can fail to perform over simulation or over anxiety, but what we are about to try and to can get so powerful to beyond a certain point and performance draw like a stone and we fail miserably. We miss the crucial jury time penalty. We lost our temper and get sound off, or when we are put in the spotlight, we don't speak clearly or forget what to say completely. Some scientists even create a law which explains the relationship between arousal and preference over arousal for a task, such as speaking a foreign language with alright mental preparation and support, can lead to a complete drop-off in preference and a memorable struggle. This anxiety or stress when trying to speak a second language has another name, Sophia aphasia, which is defined as the failure to speak a new language for fear of making a mistake sound familiar or anyone. So what can be done about it? How do you improve your ability to speak when you have been afraid to do so? Often despairs of English tuition and the good ability to roll and write the language. The crown bomb in the online language exchange and practice show that learning and despair to improve their speaking skill. Look at the forum I found, which is just an example on how English learning in college the problem they have. I would grow that it is the typical situation is the level of million of English learn that they are not getting what they really need from conventional English language lesson and material. I'm biased, of course, but anxiety and stress in failure of activity outside of language learning are commonly and managed by mental and physical process put in place to help the person to overcome the fear that stop them performing properly. I am telling you that English learning can also be helped by that the English teaching world has not gone there yet. Number 6 section. Learn how to speak again. Method. The way most cross and teacher work and actually stop you speak English. This is because they teach you to write before they teach you to speak. When you try to speak, you make sentences as if you were going to write them. So you translate and create whole sentence in your head. You are in the conversation and have to respond quickly to keep the communication going. The more you try to create grammatically perfect sense, the more pressure, arousal, or anxiety you experience. A language learner needs some time to observe and get used to a basic pattern of communication in the second language. It is okay not to talk and just read and listen. The more you do this and the more you understand of what you read and hear, the better. It is how you get going in a life foundation for speaking. If you are a real beginner and have never studied English before, the best thing you can do is slow reading like small child and get used to the sound and pattern of very simple sentence. You don't need to know the real grammar, but if you really want some time to be a bit clear, it's okay to look up the rule or have someone explain to it too. But don't just say grammar expect it's all to stick. It wouldn't most English. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. most English learners have had some exposure you English already and often because of teaching technique use have studied a lot of grammar already. If you have studied a lot of grammar, it doesn't necessarily mean you can also speak comfortably. In fact, they're very often true, and people who know a lot of grammar and can read and write fairly well are still very low level speaker. Again, this is because they try to speak the way they write. Correction. So most course teacher correct student accuracy and pronunciation often in front of other students in the class. This can cause problem because students will give a lot of opportunity to speak anyway or fail with service test of their ability to speak accurately in front of all of their friends and the teacher. As most students, what was the secret thing about language lesson in school, and they will usually say speaking in classes. That's enough. Goodbye.